Welcome to another segment of Tayne Your Debt. Today, we will be discussing student loans and financial aid. So what is FAFSA? FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, and it's important to fill that out if you think you might need or want loan or financial assistance or even work-study funds while you're attending college. I would encourage you to fill it out and do so as soon as possible. It's important to fill it out each year, especially if your circumstances change financially or if your parents' circumstances change financially. Fill it out, and this way you'll know and be in a position to better accept funds that may be offered to you. Don't decide on your own that you're not going to be eligible for the funds because you just never know. So fill it out and go through the process, and you never know what you can get. So can student loans be forgiven? I get this question all the time. Can you bankrupt out your student loans? The reality is, and the short answer is no, you really cannot. Bankruptcy is an option under very, very strict circumstances. As a result, we tell people you generally can't. So in reality, you're going to have to find a way to pay it back. There are so many different ways you could do that, and it's important to understand what type of loan you have and your financial circumstances so you know exactly how you can pay it back. I encourage you to reach out to your student loan companies, especially if it's a government-backed loan. This way you can find out what options may be available to you. The long answer is, if you have a permanent disability where you will never work again and you have made attempts to repay those loans, there is a possibility that you might be able to discharge that loan in bankruptcy. My strong suggestion is that you reach out to a bankruptcy attorney and discuss that. But the reality is most people will not fall into the category where you can discharge that student loan. So the short answer again is probably not or no. So I get the question a lot, I'm going to go to graduate school. Do I still have to pay back my student loans from undergraduate? The reality is you will have to pay back your student loans from undergraduate. However, if you are attending school and depending on the type of loan you have, you might be able to get what's called a forbearance or additional deferment period. What that means is that you may not be required to pay back those loans while you're still a full-time student or while you're attending graduate school. It's really important, and I can't stress this enough, that you reach out to your student loan company, have a discussion with them, find out the type of loan you have and the type of options that are available to you in your circumstances. Plan ahead. Don't wait for the last minute in September when you're starting school to figure out what to do with your loans. Always know ahead of time what your options are for repayment, forbearance, deferment, income sensitive, or any other type of program you need or want for your student loans. Lots of luck. Okay, so what happens if you can't pay back your student loans? You feel like, wow, what am I going to do now? The reality is most student loan companies, especially the federally backed student loans, are really easy to work with. I would encourage you to call your student loan servicer, explain your situation, and find out what your options are. Yes, you will still be responsible for paying back the loan, even if you lost your job, you're no longer in school, you've dropped out of school, whatever reason. Once you've taken the loans, you're responsible for paying them. But be in contact with your student loan company on a regular basis. Take notes, be diligent about following up, and follow through. And you will be able to repay them at some point in the future. In my practice in helping people resolve student loan related issues, one of the biggest questions I get is whether you should refinance your student loan or not. It's really a very complicated answer. It's not simply yes you should or no you shouldn't. The reality is you need to understand what type of loan that you have. Do you have a federal loan? Are you turning that federal loan into a private loan? Do you have a private loan and now you're taking another private loan to consolidate what you owe on the other loan? You need to really understand the current terms that you have, what you may be giving up in benefits. And what I mean by benefits is that if you turn a federal student loan into a private loan, you might lose options like deferment, forbearance, and income sensitive options. So really understand the type of loan that you have and the type of loan that you're looking to get. The most important question I ask people when they ask me this question is, do you know the cost of that loan? The reality is there is a cost to taking loans. You may not see that cost, you may not have to write a check for that cost up front, but there is often a cost for the loan. So before you sign on the dotted line for a new consolidated student loan, I suggest you be in the know. Talk to your current student loan provider, see if there's some options through them, and find out what you might be giving up. Because you might think you're saving money, but in the end, some of those benefits that you had with your previous loan certainly outweigh the financial benefit of saving maybe $25, $50, or even $75 a month. Before you consolidate your loan, do your research. Take your time. Don't rush, and find out what you have before you take another loan. Need more advice? Visit youtube.com/law offices LHT.